Right now, Michael runs a digital agency generating $500,000 a month. He's retired both of his parents, travels the globe full-time, and spends his days knocking out extreme side quests like Muay Thai training, sailing across Europe, and earning his helicopter pilot's license. But rewind just 2.5 years, and the picture looks entirely different. He was working 40 hours a week trying to build an agency after buying a generic online course, and he was losing $600 a month in the process. This flowchart maps the exact psychological trap he fell into. He suffered from severe analysis paralysis, trying to organize virtual assistants, map out ad strategies, and train a hypothetical sales team before securing a single paying customer. The turning point came when he scrapped the entire back end. He shut off his engineering brain and reduced the business down to one single action, talking directly to prospects. Breaking the initial failure loop required Michael to prioritize market feedback over strategy documents. In the early stages, raw action and facing rejection proved more valuable than months of perfect planning. To make this lean approach work, the product had to be incredibly simple. He decided to sell basic websites hosted on Go High Level to local contractors, charging a flat monthly fee of anywhere from $147 to $297. This grid illustrates the volume Michael used to sell a cheap offer like that from scratch. Every single day, he sat down and manually executed between 400 and 700 cold dials. To bypass the instant rejection of cold calling, he deployed the Julie Becker Script. He'd call a contractor, claim a mutual friend named Julie recommended them, and mention she noticed they lacked a website. Fabricating this connection increased his appointment bookings threefold. The math of this process is brutal. Out of 30 booked meetings, a 20% show rate meant maybe 6 people actually showed up. From those 6, he squeezed out 2 or 3 closed deals, generating about $450 in new monthly recurring revenue. Enduring that mathematical gauntlet was the entry point. The ability to push through hundreds of dead ends to extract one client builds a foundational sales skill that Michael used to drive every future stage of growth. Once the sale started landing, the focus shifted to fulfillment. Delivering dozens of websites quickly meant he had to write strict standard operating procedures to ensure the work stayed consistent. He kept the deliverables intentionally minimal. Clients received zero login access to the software. They simply got a live website and an automated text message sequence that instantly replied to any missed calls. But even with tight systems, growth hit a wall. Michael is a software engineer by trade, highly analytical and extremely organized. He recognized that his aversion to marketing and running ads was actively stalling the company's momentum. That's when he partnered with Kai. They were complete opposites. Kai operated with a chaotic, high-pressure sales style that leaned on raw persistence, while Michael operated like a rigid, geometric blueprint. Kai could acquire clients effortlessly, but faced high turnover through poor organization. Michael could build bulletproof fulfillment systems, but struggled to feed them with top-of-funnel marketing. Merging those two specific skill sets created an immediate multiplier effect. This graph tracks the direct financial impact of that partnership. On their own, they were generating a combined $45,000 a month. Exactly 12 months after joining forces, they reached $500,000 a month in revenue. Rapid scale doesn't necessarily mean learning how to do everything yourself. It requires the self-awareness to locate your own operational limits and finding a partner who excels exactly where you do not. Reaching $500,000 a month introduces a completely new set of problems. Specifically, how do you manage an active roster of over 13,000 clients without collapsing under massive payroll costs? To solve this, they reduced their overhead. They let go of the overseas virtual assistants who handled routine service delivery, replacing that labor pool with a lean, AI-driven model. This flowchart demonstrates the optimization. A single rep types a request into a custom AI interface, instantly deploying code changes to a client's website. Slicing payroll directly impacts the bottom line, leaving the agency with profit margins between 40 and 60%. They feed that margin further by upselling their existing base. Every quarter, they offer current clients upgraded packages for SEO and Google Maps optimization, a strategy that requires no additional ad spend to execute. When beginners look at an agency operating at this scale, the immediate assumption is that the digital services market must be entirely saturated. This block of dots visualizes the actual data. There are tens of millions of active contractors in the United States. To reach a $10 million a month revenue target, an agency needs roughly 33,000 clients. You can build significant wealth without capturing even 1% of the market. Michael's growth was a result of solving specific bottlenecks in order, first with raw sales volume, then with rigid systems, and finally with technical optimization. Stacking these individual layers allowed the agency to scale while maintaining high profitability. If you find this valuable, please make sure to follow and subscribe. Rise, raise.